The Big Day, easily Chance the Rapper's worst project he's ever put out.
I am genuinely feeling like a strong 0 on this record.
So while I think we can all agree that The Big Day was trash, it was only one project. But The Big Day's impact on Chance the Rapper's career has been huge. This one project was able to take Chance from being one of the biggest names in hip-hop to now, very far from that. So in this video I'm going to discuss why The Big Day destroyed Chance the Rapper. So like I mentioned, prior to The Big Day, Chance the Rapper was honestly one of the biggest names in hip-hop. I still remember people talking about how Chance was going to be the one to take over Drake's spot at the top. With classic mixtapes like 10 Day and Acid Rap, which is still one of my favorite mixtapes to this day, then followed by his third mixtape, Coloring Book, which actually won a Grammy as a mixtape with no label, which was practically unheard of. Chance the Rapper was definitely on his way to being a superstar in the rap game, if he wasn't already there. He literally had the whole city of Chicago behind him supporting him, including one of the biggest Chicago artists of all time, Kanye West, taking him under his wing. He also hosted the first ever music festival at the White Sox Stadium, which I actually attended, with huge name artists on the lineup, and also featured a surprise appearance from Kanye. And then, in July of 2019, came The Big Day, which again was trash. But The Big Day's impact on Chance the Rapper's career has honestly been huge, and very detrimental. But like I already mentioned, The Big Day was just one project. A lot of artists put out projects that aren't always received very well, so it had me wondering, why did The Big Day do so much damage to Chance the Rapper's career? Well, after doing some thinking, the first reason is because The Big Day was labeled as Chance's debut studio album. Like I previously mentioned, Chance was known for dropping mixtapes, not albums, and making these mixtapes free with no labels involved. But with The Big Day, he would sell it, and it was his debut album, which is a pretty big deal for artists. And along with that, Chance the Rapper rarely drops projects. It was 3 years between Acid Rap and Coloring Book, and then 3 more years from Coloring Book to The Big Day. And when you're an artist and you wait that long between projects, fans are going to be that much more hyped for your new release. And not only more hyped, but they're going to be expecting it to be that much better, since you took 3 years to work on it. However, in the case of The Big Day, not only was it bad, but Chance didn't actually take 3 years to work on it. Instead, he only took about 5 months, as Chance's now ex-manager, whose situation I'm about to get into in a second, said that when Chance announced in February that he would be releasing his first studio album in July of that year, without even first consulting with his own manager, he hadn't even really began working on it. It says, given the significant amount of work, care, and attention needed to produce an album, Corcoran, who was Chance's manager, expressed serious concern with the projected release date that Chance had announced for the album. Continuing on, Corcoran knew that in view of the commitments Chance had in early 2019, including his own wedding, it was likely there was not enough time for the creative process that was involved in releasing an album. So add to it all, that Chance announced his album while also preparing for his own wedding, which is no small task. And it continues, Chance's recording efforts were compromised by unproductive and undisciplined studio sessions, procrastination and lackadaisical effort perpetuated by various hangers-on, uninterested in the hard work of writing and recording, resulted in a freestyle-driven product of subpar quality, a complete deviation from the meticulous writing process that brought Chance fame for his wordplay and wit. So after reading that most of the album was freestyled and done very quickly with little effort, it makes more sense that there are terrible and corny lyrics all throughout. Here are just a few of the many examples.
Life is short as a midget, but mine's a little LeBron. Saucing on the workers at McDonald's. I don't wanna sit and argue. Good burger should've taught you we all dudes. Pretty sure I need you in this season like a flu shot.
The amount of times Chance mentions how much he loves his wife on here is unreal. Now Chance did try some new sounds and ideas on here, but overall, they were just not interesting or executed well at all. And the album was also 22 tracks, making it Chance's longest project to date. So getting back to his manager, I think this also plays a big part of why The Big Day was so damaging to Chance's career. The way Chance handled all of the criticism he got from this album. As we saw, the reviews were not very good for The Big Day, and Chance received a very negative response from the fans about it. Many of these fans took to social media, and tweeted their thoughts about the album to Chance on Twitter, which actually led to Chance then tweeting, "I'm getting this crazy feeling that people want me to kill myself." And along with a few other tweets basically feeling bad for himself, Chance also began blocking users who would tweet bad things about the big day to him. And if you made a wife joke about Chance, he would also block you. And not only blocking fans, but he also fired back tweets to many of them, including this guy, who actually made a very good point about how the way he's been tweeting back at Day One fans is disappointing, and that ego reflects in the quality of his new music, in which Chance responded. But it didn't stop there, as Chance continued on arguing with this guy, saying, "If I knew you existed, I would have tried my hardest to keep you from being able to enjoy it. Now go eat a dick again. How about one more time?" And again, getting back to his manager, Chance actually fired him due to fan disappointment in the big day, and underwhelming fan support for his associated tour. That big day tour was actually cancelled after, quote, historically low ticket sales, because no one wanted to see him perform any tracks off of the album. So his manager actually filed a lawsuit to sue Chance for breach of contract, stating that he is owed over $2.5 million of unreimbursed expenses supporting and promoting Chance's career. Also in the lawsuit, which was filed back in November of last year, it states that Chance then replaced him with his father Ken and brother Taylor, so basically his yes men. It continues on, instead of acknowledging the numerous distractions and artistic compromises that inevitably resulted from the time wasted in the studio, all of which contributed to a lackluster album evidenced by historically low ticket sales, Chance ultimately blamed Corcoran for the judgment rendered by his fanbase, rather than accept that his own lack of dedication had doomed the project. So instead of accepting the fact that he put very little effort into a rushed album, which resulted in bad reviews from fans, Chance decided to blame his manager, fire him, not pay him, and then deny the bad reviews and block any fans who tweeted at him. So after taking into account all of these reasons we've went over, I think it makes sense why the big day destroyed Chance the Rapper. He honestly wasted what is usually a huge point in an artist's career, their debut album, by announcing it before it was really even started, and then rushing through it in just a few months, while at the same time also planning another huge life event, his wedding. He could have went about it all so differently and saved all of this from happening. But while he's definitely not as big as he once was, do I think Chance can make a comeback? Yes, I definitely think it's possible, but it's going to take him first realizing his mistakes and accepting the fact that it was his own fault that the big day was trash, learn to take criticism and not tell his own fans to eat dicks, and then actually get back to putting effort into making his music. Because, like I previously mentioned earlier, the big day was just one project, and while there was a lot of other stuff that also went into it, I think if Chance can put all of that behind him and move on, as well as again get back to making good music, then yes, I do believe he can bounce back. But I don't think that now he'll ever be able to reach that superstar status that he was definitely headed for. So that'll do it for this video on Chance the Rapper. If you haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like for me, and also hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for new videos every week.